Imagine that you purchased an investment property and you did a bit of a renovation, and 2 weeks before the tenants moved in, there's a storm and a giant tree crushes your entire property. Sounds crazy and terrible, which it was. But that's exactly what happened to two of my clients recently. They were about to rent out that property. There was a major storm and the neighbor's huge eucalyptus tree collapsed. It completely destroyed their entire property to the point where it couldn't even be fixed. It has to be completely rebuilt from the ground up. Now, this may not be your average success story, but because they had worked with us and we identified that they were naturally quite risk averse when they came to us, but they really wanted to purchase an investment property up the coast. Their plan was to rent it out for 3 years and then move into it when their son started high school in 3 years' time. We mapped out that journey on what it would look like. The property is rented out for the next 3 years, and then they sell the home that they live in at the moment in Sydney and move into that investment property. This has obviously thrown a massive spanner in the works on that. But because we realized they were quite risk averse, we built in quite a significant backup plan. They purchased a property that was well below what they could afford, and they had a lot of liquidity savings, and they knew, or they felt very comfortable with the structure that we'd put in place for them to actually action the strategy. And now, even though something like this has happened, and now what it's resulted in is for the next 2 or 3 years, they will not get any rental income, and they're essentially covering 2 mortgages. They can actually comfortably afford to pay those 2 mortgages. And while not ideal, you don't want to be paying for 2 mortgages, obviously, but it hasn't been catastrophic to their financial future. And in a silver lining as well, their plan was to move in 3 years and then completely renovate the place to how they wanted it over the next 5 or 6 years, so that in 10 years' time, they were living in the place that they really loved. While this has been very unfortunate, it's actually meant that because they're building it from the ground up, it's going to cost them a bit of money, but when they move in 3 years' time, they will actually immediately be in the place that they really wanted to live in as well. So with the right structured financial plan where you've built in some liquidity, some backup, and you know what if something goes wrong, what will happen, it can give you the confidence to really action a really good plan. And if something doesn't work out exactly as it was expected to, you're still not in financial trouble.